Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to replace the charging port on the iPhone 5. And it's actually pretty simple. If you ever used a screwdriver or even opened anything before, you can probably accomplish this. Basically take off the bottom two screws. This is the same pentalobe screwdriver that you would have used for the iPhone 4. They're pretty inexpensive online. I'll list the tools that I use in the video description below, as well as where to find them on Amazon. The toolkit itself is only like 15 bucks. It's not too bad. Anyway, grab a little suction cup once you got those screws out and pry up a little bit. In hindsight, definitely use a plastic tool for this if you don't want to scratch up your phone. But by this point, the phones are mostly scratched anyway. You wouldn't be able to tell. And then be very careful when you're pulling the screen away from the body. You can see that there is a metal bracket right here. If you're going to take the screen off, redo these 3 screws, take them out, and then you can pop the screen off. But what I just did is I kind of just leaned the screen back up against something so it wouldn't put any stress on the cables, but it would still be out of my way. Right here I'm taking apart 3 screws off the metal bracket, and the metal bracket comes apart in 2 places, and you can kind of see that I'm placing the screws on the piece of paper in such a way that I'll remember where they go later. So all 3 screws and the 2 bracket pieces are organized right there. Pop the ribbon cable off with just your plastic pry tool, lift it away. It's kind of like a little Lego piece. Snaps on and off just like that. Then there are 7 screws down at the bottom, this corner one. And once again, I'm placing the screws very carefully in a certain order. And then there's 4 screws holding the actual charging port in place. There's the 2 upper ones, and the 2 lower ones are smaller. And then here's the other bottom left corner. And then there's 1 more screw right here that kind of holds this other little metal part in place. Anyway, so you can kind of see the placement of the screws just correspond directly with where they are on the phone, and then I can put them back a lot easier now that I know where they're at. Anyway, there's a little wire cable right here that you have to snap off. Just kind of pry it up a little bit, and then this part you gotta be really careful with. This little ribbon cable right here is glued onto the plastic piece below it, so if you just kind of pry up around each of the corners, eventually the glue will just unstick itself and you're good to go. If you rip that cable, you'll have some problems in the future. Anyway, here's the speaker itself. Pull that out. You can see this little plastic bit up top. That's what kept it under the main motherboard. I'll put that. If you need to replace that, that part's only like 5 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link in the video description for that as well. Anyway, then you take the ribbon cable and just kind of pull it away gently and just kind of unstick it from the glue that is below it. It comes off pretty easily. And then pull it off. And you can see it's all of this right here is the part that you're replacing. You have the headphone jack on the left side, and then the microphone between the headphone jack right here, and then you have the charger itself. To put it back in, I start by just putting the charging port in the correct spot and just kind of popping it into place. It fits, it slides right back in that groove where it came from. And then positioning the headphone jack and the microphone in place as well. And then just kind of pressing down, sliding this little corner underneath the motherboard and then pressing down the rest of the ribbon cable into place. And then you snap the ribbon cable in just like a little Lego, just where it came from. Anyway, put the speaker back in by sliding that little notch underneath the motherboard. And then all you have to do is make sure the little cables all line up. There's a little groove, a little pin that sticks up that aligns that ribbon cable. Anyway, get all the screws back into place. Doesn't really matter what order you do them in. And then snap the wire cable back in. It's just like a little pin that snaps onto the head of the little pin in the motherboard. It's pretty straightforward. Anyway, and then as far as little metal brackets go, I position them, and then I put the center screw in first, and that keeps the brackets in one place where I can adjust them just a little bit so I can put the top and the bottom screw in. And then I tuck the top ribbon cables in and snap the screen down on top of the iPhone itself. And you'll hear it snap all the way around the outside. And then you're good to go. Make sure you do put the bottom 2 screws in, the pentalobe ones, to hold the screen down. But yeah, everything works. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video if it helped you. And don't forget to subscribe. And once again, I'll put everything you need in the video description below. So make sure you go down there. If you need any parts, just click them right from Amazon. Anyway, thanks for watching.